This video is brought to you by our amazing supporters over at Patreon. Hey everyone, it's Ben from Board to Bits, and this video is going to be a pretty short one, but one that's still important to do. So right now we've got our game set up where we can go from our main menu and then use our play session manager to bring us to the level when we start our game. However, once we get to our endpoint, nothing actually happens. We haven't programmed anything to announce the end of the game or even to bring us back to the menu. And I want to set that up right now. It's going to be really easy to do because we've already set up the events for it, but I want to put that method into place for when we want to do future things that might be even a little bit more complicated than bringing us back to the main menu. So all we need for today's video are the play session manager script and our level manager script. And really the level manager script is just so that we can reference this level end handler, which, remember, what happens is when we reach the goal, this event gets called. It also will tell us whether or not we've actually completed the level. Right now we don't actually have any kind of fail state, so this will always be true, but it's there in case in the future we have, a timer that ticks down, or there's some way for the player to, fall off the level or something like that. So all we need in our play session manager now is a method that can be called that reflects the kind of template that's been set up in that event. So we're going to say void handle level end. We're going to put in a bool called level completed. And we're not actually even going to use this parameter right now because, like I say, it's always true right now. All we're going to do is just tell this to send us back to the main menu. We can do that pretty easily. All we have to do is say scene manager dot load scene, and then we have to give it the index of the main menu. You can find that out really quickly. We just go over to our build settings, and we see that the main menu is in the 0 index. So we'll just put 0 in there, and that's really all it takes. But in order to actually call that method, we need to make sure that we're assigning this method to the onLevelEnd event. And that's also pretty easy to do. We'll just say level manager dot onLevelEnd, and then we'll add handle level end. So in addition to this, there is one more thing we need to do, which is we need to go into our level manager. And here, remember that we are assigning a couple of things, we are assigning a So before we wrap this up, though, there is one more thing we need to do, which is in our level manager, we have to remember that we are assigning a couple of methods to events that will remain assigned once we leave the level. And we don't want that to happen because then what's going to happen is the event is going to try to inform these methods about the event even though they no longer really exist, or the component they're attached to no longer exists, because we're destroying them when we destroy and leave this scene. So what we need to do is make sure that we say down here, we need to add in onLevelStart minus equals setup level, and goal.onReached_goal minus equals end level. It's one of the kind of tricky things about events is you always have to be very careful about destroying objects that have subscribed to something, because much in the way that if you are subscribed to a magazine and you leave your house and the magazine keeps getting sent there, events will still keep trying to announce that event. The difference is here that will start throwing big errors at you. So now with that in there, we should be clear. Let's try and start up our game. We can click Start Game, and now we should be able to move to our goal, start up the game again, and sure enough, we're able to load it every time. We're not getting any events that are calling onto things that no longer exist, and therefore we're able to kind of continue this game loop as much as we want to, which is really what you're going for, because you want your player to be able to play the game, finish a level, either move on to another level, go back to the main menu, things like that. So this is really creating that sort of a loop and these seamless transitions to and from your gameplay so that your program as a whole works coherently and consistently. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.